Hi, Divide and Conquer. It is week 8 learning, and you are listening to this recording and following my instructions prior to coming to see me in group. You'll be able to start your work before I call for you. So, this week you're learning to apply your algebraic understanding to real life situations. Now, I've already given to you, or you'll be collecting, a worksheet, which is the cell phone plan comparison. Your job is to compare these 4 plans with one another to see which is the best deal. Okay. To help you work out the first question, which is number 1, what is your monthly cell phone bill cost for each plan in terms of texts? And I might need to slide this up a wee bit for you. There we go. I'm going to show you how to work through it so that you know how to do it. Now, they've given you an amount of text that you use a month, which is 500, and you're working out which is the cheapest. Don't forget to include sales tax. All right. So for question number 1, you are going to work out which, in terms of text, is the cheapest bill. You must add on your sales tax, and you need to set up an algebraic equation. So you're going to write out your working for each of the plans. So if we go and have a look at the sheet that you'll be able to get access straight through Divide and Conquer, I've made a little example plan here. Okay, so for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm going to make the number of texts to be a smaller number. I don't want to give away the answer to you straight away. Okay, so we've got the number of texts times the cost of the text, which is, in this case, 0.5. So it is 5 cents. And that is going to equal the cost. All right. Now, the reason I've put the brackets around here is because we can't forget the tax. Now, because I want to add the tax onto the total, I'm going to go 1.06. All right. Now, what this does is it adds the cost or the total of this plus the 6% to give me a whole amount. I'll show you what I mean. So in New Zealand, we pay 15% tax, goods and services tax. So if I was buying something for $10 and I had to add GST, plus GST, as with everything, to calculate it, I would go 10 times 1, so that's the 1 of the $10, plus the 15%. All right, so this is the percent bit after the decimal. Okay. So 1 times 1.15 is going to be altogether $11.50. I had the $10 and I multiplied it just by the 15%, which would be 0.15. But it would equal $1.50. Okay. So that $1.50 plus the $10, $11.50. All right. So that's 15% GST. So for the purpose of this exercise, 6%, 1.06. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to apply 200 texts, that's not 200, texts times 5 cents times the tax, which is going to equal cost. Now we're going to solve this bit here. 200 times 5 cents, which is $10. $10 sign before it, $10, and then we have to multiply the 1.06, which is the tax, which will then equal our cost. So $10 times 1.06 obviously is going to be, where's my dollar sign? $10.60. All right, so 200 texts at 5 cents a text with tax added is going to cost $10.60, okay, for this plan based on 200 texts. Now, if this is all making sense to you, you can go ahead and start the questions using what I've demonstrated on that slide to work out these 4 plans just for the texts based on 500 texts. If you're struggling to understand this tax business and how I came up with 1.15, you can continue to listen to this recording, and I'll show you on the next slide how I'm coming up with that figure. Okay, so I'll just take that off for the time being, and we'll call this calculating text. Text calculating tax percentages. All right. So how did I get 6%, or how did I turn 6% into 0.06? Now, what you need to realise is that the percentage sign means out of 100. Okay, so when we talk about 6%, we're talking about 6 over 100. Okay, or 6 divided by 100. Okay, so if I have 6 and I divide it by 100, bounce my decimal point back from, I would bounce my decimal point back from this side, and I go dividing by 100 once, twice. So my new figure would be 0.06. All right, so it becomes 0.06. Now, we were talking about 15% GST. All right, that is the same as 15 over 100, which is the same as bouncing the decimal point from here back to 2 jumps, because we're dividing, so we're going backwards, 1, 2, and putting my decimal point in, 0.15. Okay, now, point. Now, when we were talking about multiplying on top, so I said I had $10 and I was going to add my 15% GST. If I multiply just by 1, 10 times 1, I'm going to get $10. Yeah? If I have 10 and I multiply it by the 15%, right, I'm going to get $1.50. So if I multiply 10 by 1, which is going to give me the $10, and the 15%, 0.15, it adds the 10 and the $1.50 together. So the answer will be $11.50. All right, so that's a really good way to add together something. So that 6% tax that we were talking about earlier is going to be, if I want to add it onto a figure, it would be 1.06. Hopefully that makes sense, and it will mean that you can go back to the original sheet and work out how you're going to compare each of these text plans or cell phone plans. Come and see me if it's still not clear, and we will meet shortly to go over what you've worked out.